everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Happy Wednesday. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Now, we're going to get started like really soon here. For those of you who have missed it, we do have a newly unsealed document. It is several different exhibits that were more like rebuttal, expert disclosures. There's some details in it, quite a few little details in each one. We're going to do videos separately on all of them. I've recorded quite a few already. I released the first one earlier this evening. I had to give like a 5-ish or so hour break, whatever, 4 to 5 hour break in between that getting posted and the live so that it would at least try to send out notifications. I don't know why YouTube has some sort of like limitation on how many notifications can go out in a 24-hour period before it like suppresses the notifications going out. And that really sucks when you're trying to make sure that you're staying up to date with cases, because you don't want everything to just be buried because the algorithm is being dumb. It's like the more consistent you are, the more you get punished for it. That's why a lot of stuff ends up being posted the way that it's been posted. But I'm going to try to get one of them out a day until they're all done. More than half of them are already recorded. They're all separate sections. Like this first one was about Syray. The next one is about the devices, stuff with Celebrite. It talks about Kohberger's devices, but also mentions how there was going to be expert disclosures coming in to talk about Bethany's iPad very specifically and her social media data. Both things that we've really seen nothing of. So it'd be really nice to be able to see those exhibits and see some of the stuff they're talking about. There's also stuff when it comes to the blood alcohol content, the timed runs, things like that. So we're going to do those in separate little videos, one a day until we're caught up. And I believe for now, until Connor posts the remaining 3, this is, I think, the catch-up for the Sigma Chi interviews for now, because remember there are 8 that were FOIA'd, and I do believe he was able to get all of them, and this is number 5. Yeah, this is number 5, so we'll be caught up until the rest of those are posted. And I emailed them today back about Jack DeCour's interviews, so we're going to be working on getting those. She was supposed to separate those sometime like last week because I wanted to see what the differences were. And there's a big difference. So it tells me that the 17th one is a whole lot longer than the one on the 15th. But I'm working on getting those. I still haven't heard back from them about the Jay Waters one. And we've paid for the ATF guy, the sheriff interview. We should be getting that soon, hopefully in like the next week or so. I just know we've got stuff coming, and we also have stuff coming from Chrissy's Chaos as well. I do want to go over the little interview that Truth and Transparency had with Blaker, just because I want to get a feel for how he answered a few things. I listened to some of it, recorded most of the conversation so that we can go over it. And the way that he answered some questions was just odd to me. Like, he was nice and cordial and like whatever, but I feel like he got like really personal. Talk about his wife and kids and their schedule and stuff like that. And I'm just like, he knows who this is. He's answering these questions and saying the things he's saying because he knows who he's talking to. Like, it's obvious. If you know what to pick up on, it's very freaking obvious. So we're going to go over that eventually too. And I think that's probably it that I have like to say before we get started. We have a lot to go over, a lot to catch up on, which is still so amazing to me that people will come in here and be like, oh my God, you're still talking about this case. Something new is constantly happening. Yeah, we're still talking about this case. Of course we are. Welcome, Summer. Welcome. Hey there, Sprinkle Love. Hey there, Lorena. How are you doing? Hey there, Nomadic. Alf. Hey, I put my email address in the chat so that you could email me. Hey there, Ice Queen. Hey, Aunt B, Lucid, Becca. Hey there, Miller Time, Pony Girl, Carla. How are you guys doing? Little LL Jaggers, how are you? Hey, Sweet Pea. Hey, Melinda. Katie. TK, how are you? Hey there, Caitlin. Hey, Crystal. Hey, I'm Catherine. How are you? Chrissy Poo, how are you doing? How you doing? Hey, Mr. Daysayer. Actually, I did see her. She's in the body cam. As if I'm getting the way that you've described her right, she's in the body cam as one of the officers is going up to do front entry. She's the one who he's asking if she's the one like taking record, and she's telling him no, or like what she's there for. For those of you that missed it, M. Catherine here says that her mom is the shorter lady that works for ISP that we see in the body cam with like the shorter purplish hair. That's her mom. And she's been in here following along and seeing what's been going on with all these records. Hey there, Rebecca. Hey, Trish. How are you? Hey, Jesse. Hey, Wasp. How are you doing? How you doing? Hey, P1111. Hey, Sarah. Hey there, Carrie. Maggie. Hey, Thousand Julys. How are you? I did just see that. Something about Washington State using the same technology from the flight for like speeding and stuff like that, the different technology stuff. Yeah, I did. I'm going to look at that stuff. I took a little screenshot of it so that we can take a look at it later. Hey there, Billie Jean. How are you? How are you? All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the bottom of the chat so I don't miss anything recent. Sorry if I missed you. We're just going to go ahead and get started. Hello, and thank you for being in here. Thank you for the 2, Joni. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this up. Now, I'm going to tell you, I did listen to this one a little bit more than normal because I listened to it with nothing else really playing as it was like recording. And then I was like sort of letting it play as I was getting like the thumbnail and stuff together. This dude did not like Ethan. This guy does not like Ethan. I mean, he might have liked Ethan right before Ethan passed away, but this dude did not like Ethan. Put a 1 in the chat if you've already listened to this. It's been out for a couple days now. This guy really just did not like Ethan. There's definitely more details in here when it comes to the situation with the mom and the photo and the inappropriate photo situation. There's a lot more details in here. I'm just going to tell you off the bat, my opinion based off of the sounds that we hear from the redactions. It almost sounds like the mom was Pete's mom, who Pete ended up being the best friend and also at some point had been like wanting to be with Xana before Ethan got with Xana. It just sounds like a P name, but I'm not sure, because then after that it says something about how this person had a certain position in the fraternity. So I don't know. I don't know, but there's a lot more information in here. This guy's definitely not a fan of Ethan, which I just again find interesting because they've been telling us this whole time like how well liked everyone was, but then so many people are like backing away from Kaylee and acting like they had nothing to do with Kaylee and didn't know Kaylee at all, which is odd. We know that so much of Xana and Ethan's timeline and that information has been completely erased, and we know who's responsible for that shit, okay? And this whole thing is just, this is the first time that we're getting, like, I guess, let's just be serious about it, a more honest view of who maybe Ethan was to a certain extent, because they're talking about instances of him getting in trouble and people not liking him for doing inappropriate things and blah, blah, blah. But it also sort of sounds like jealousy on top of that too. So it's really hard to gauge, because when they're saying stuff about like how he has money to just kind of buy things and they're redacting all that stuff, there's just like a tone in the stuff that we do hear, especially when it comes to how that first guy was basically calling him like dumb and lazy. He's like not the smartest, not the hardest working. But then some of them are like, oh yeah, like he would, be the first one to volunteer to do something, which tells me that he's not lazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of back and forth in this stuff, but it definitely feels like it's more honest to like how they actually feel than just like the normal, yes, they walked into a room and smiled and just lit up everybody's world. A lot of people get that sort of thing after they pass away, even if it's not true. Not to say that it's not true here, but we also know like just how it always works. But again, there's a lot of jealousy in the tones here for some of these people, especially that first guy. This guy just straight up did not like him. I don't think he ever did like him. I think he just didn't want to admit that he didn't like him because it's a murder investigation. Why would you want to admit that? But you can tell it. You can tell it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and listen. It's not going to be your normal interview. There's some interesting information here.
It's December 16th, 2022. This is Detective Sergeant Mike Van Leuven. We're at the District 1 ISP office. I'm here interviewing Wesley, who is a Sigma Chi Pledge Class member with Ethan, and it is 1:32 p.m. So tell me the first time that you met Ethan.
It would have been after Rush, so I think that was like late summer, and everyone got brought to the house, and everyone went over to the Whites. I don't really remember like introducing myself so much. I don't remember like exactly how we kind of met.
What was your impression of him when you first met?
When we first met, maybe a little bit more cocky than he kind of became less cocky after a while. And,
mellowed out.
Maybe at first I didn't think he was as cool, but then after a while he seemed more chill.
What do you mean when you say you thought he was cocky?
I don't know, just almost to me he just gave off this like kept a little bit more like a badass attitude, but like I don't really remember. He was always just like a big, like a little bit more like crazy when I first met him, like partier. And then once he like met Xana and got a girlfriend and everything, he was kind of more chill.
The party girl mellowed out Ethan. That's funny.
So it didn't sound like you were really friends with him much.
Not like I never really hung out with him too much. Kind of just knew him and in the same apartment and drank together and whatnot. But
so, did you not like him because you thought he was cocky?
I wouldn't say I didn't like him. I just didn't get along with him as well at first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think he liked him at all. He just doesn't really want to admit it.
What sorts of things would he say or do that made you not really get along with him? Do you remember some incident?
I wouldn't say I didn't get. I wouldn't say we didn't get along. We weren't like. Yeah.
I don't know what
really
he said.
Sure how to answer that. Like,
see, he doesn't want to be like, I really just didn't like this guy.
Super close to him, so I don't really.
He's walking on eggshells.
People are drawn to different people depending on their personalities, and everybody's different. And,
right.
You know, your group of friends generally are sort of like you, and so I'm just trying to figure out.
He just doesn't want to admit it. That's crazy.
Rubbed you the wrong way.
I guess he was a little loud at first, and there was just a couple like little incidents where people got a little mad at him over it, and then over time he kind of chilled out and never caused any problems.
What were the incidents where people got mad at him?
It was an incident where it was Parents' Weekend, and I guess this is like
like the first one, like the year before.
Is this the picture with the mom?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
Don't know a ton about it, but there's just someone, I don't know who took the picture or anything. There's just him like propped up with his leg, like, and someone's mom was laying on the couch, and he was just kind of looked a little dirty, I guess.
Remember, he says Parents' Weekend, but it, according to him, wasn't like the Parents' Weekend that was just there, like the weekend before. He's talking about like when he first met him after Rush. So like in 2021 Parents' Weekend?
So how'd that go?
I guess.
Did somebody say something right away, or did they like pull him aside and talk to him after the fact? Or who confronted him?
I think it was a different member that someone showed all the pictures, and then one guy saw it, and then he showed that guy's who's like.
So nobody said anything right away. It was after.
Probably confronted him, and he was really angry about that.
That's See, he doesn't say it here, but I think in the first interview that we heard this, they said something about she was like laying on the couch, or like maybe they even said asleep. I don't remember if they said specifically, but that's the question I had. Like, it's parents' weekend, or the mom and the dad, like they go in there and they like really party with these college age people, you know, like that's weird. I would never want to be that kind of parent that like actually went in there and like had drinks with all the people and like partied with that age. Like, I just want to be there to spend time with my kid. I don't want to be there for all that weird stuff. But I've also heard rumors about things when it comes to that kind of like society and how things work. So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Never like physically angry, but he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me. He's our.
See, it sounded like, but I don't know. Let's listen one more time. It's so difficult.
Who's like, mom, it was, and then I think he probably confronted him, and he was really angry about that. I remember. Never like physically angry, but he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me. And he's our. Pretty sure it was her.
I don't know. It's so hard. There's so many.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just redact like the whole thing of silence? Why is it Skippy?
That would have been me. And he's our. Pretty sure it was her.
He's our president? Is that what he's trying to say?
But he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me. And he's our.
Right, sure like it almost sounds like an E, but then I sort of hear like a P.
That would have been his.
Okay, Eli. Okay, let's listen to that sound and listen for like Eli.
Yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me.
That definitely would fit better, yo. Yeah, I've never heard that name either. Now I do know, right, it sounds like president. I do know that maybe, I don't know. I would check into the Eli Williams name. It does sound like he's saying president, something like that. The president of Sigma Chi, I'm pretty sure, came out and gave like a little bit of a statement to the Idaho Statesman, also the Argonaut, and I think there's even like a news clip where they're on camera. Well, Ethan's mom wouldn't have done it to his own mom, you know what I mean? And then like everybody else get mad about it, like they're saying it's somebody else's mom, unless there's another Ethan. I guess it would all be based off of that initial sound. Eli, Ethan, yeah, I don't know. I know Connor said that he's finding the majority of the faces with the names on the fraternity's Instagram account. I haven't had the time to go over there. I'm going to do more digging over there and on the Facebook one. Right? Like I think it might have been Brian Inton. Interesting.
Never like physically angry, but he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me. And he's our. Pretty sure it was her.
See, it almost does sound like a P. But then when you hear it, whenever you think of the fact that it could be an E. See, I wasn't thinking that it would be an E name because it's Ethan that's doing this, that's making people upset. And I didn't know there was an Eli. The E sounds more like it.
And he's our. Pretty sure it was her.
Vice president was a guy named Eli.
That would have been his.
I guess that would be it then. I'm gonna write that down.
This was quite a long time ago. This is pretty soon after I first met him, I think.
So did that affect your opinion of him?
Because there should be an interview with that guy.
For a little bit. Everyone was kind of...
There should be an interview with Eli.
For it, but after a while, everyone kind of forgot about it. It wasn't a big deal.
Okay, you said there was a couple of incidents. Besides that one, what was the other one?
I said, I don't think there's any other incidents. It's the only one.
Just the one.
Okay, other than that, can you think of anybody within the house that had any confrontation with Ethan?
I really can't. Ethan is a pretty chill guy. He's well liked by pretty much everyone. Other than that one time, after that, there was really no issues or anything. So yeah, I can't really think of anyone that had any sort of problems with him.
So one of the purposes of this interview is to try to think about, and so I'm asking you questions as we go through. So each of us in our lives, we have different circles of people around us, right? So we have our immediate family, and then we have maybe friends at school, and then maybe we have people at church, or maybe we have a job and we have people we work with at the job, or even customers we come into contact with. And so, the people that are over here may not know the people that are over here because they're separate pockets of people, separate buckets of people that we have in our lives. So what I'm looking for are what you know about each of those buckets of people, and maybe a bucket of people we don't even know about because he had a job or he had a hobby or he had something he went to that nobody else knows about but you. Does that make sense? And you never know if you're going to be the person that knows that.
Gotcha.
I know you don't think you are.
I don't think I am.
But let's just go through the drill here. About his family. Did you know his parents?
I did not. No, I never really saw him up until recently.
Did he ever talk about growing up?
Not necessarily growing up. You talk about maybe stuff you did back home, like water skiing or something like that.
What did he talk about water skiing?
How fun it is, or him and they would try and get us to come up to his family. So he'd talk about going up there.
Did he talk about working up there?
I more so heard from about working up there, but yeah, they both would talk about.
See, that's crazy to me.
Was that a good experience? Was that something they were going to try to do again in the future? Or?
If I remember, it sounded like they would talk about it in a positive way. That's
true. What was that?
So he'd talk.
I want to hear that again.
What did he talk about water skiing?
Okay. Yeah, we have pictures of him doing that.
How fun it is, or him and they would try and get us to come up to his family. So he'd talk about going up there.
Did he talk about working up there?
I more so heard from about working up there, but yeah, they both would talk about. Yeah.
Was that a good experience? Was that something they were going to try to do again in the future? Or?
If I remember, it sounded like.
So they did something, and they're not letting us hear what it is.
They would talk about it in a positive way.
But they're letting us hear the follow-up questions without actually being able to hear the subject. How fucking stupid.
So you knew, obviously, and you knew me later?
Yeah.
How was she?
You must be asking about Maisie. these redactions are wild. We still need to take time to go over the most updated information
what
for
were his
the
attitudes, his
EWU Media
behavior about
2
school?
lawsuit.
Well, he didn't get the best grade.
Maybe I should say that again and then let the question replay. We still need to go over the latest documents in the EWU lawsuit against Moscow PD about the redactions, because I haven't even had the chance to sit down and look through them. There's 3 different ones. At least that's the latest that I remember so far that Sarah had posted. But I know it gets more in depth about what they've actually specifically asked for, and I really want to make a comparison, but I need to sit down and I need to get all the FOIAs together. Like, I have everything. I've never deleted anything. They're all like organized in my email, but I need to get them all printed out and organized and actually put on the Google Drive, because it'll help with that a lot more to know what's actually being denied. I wonder if people have been approved for certain things, but they've gotten like different versions of stuff. Like the redactions coming out now in April 2026. I mean, they're actively redacting this heavy, knowing that they're being sued for their redactions. Like that's it's all happening at the same time. Like I almost feel like they're over redacting now as like an FU because they're being sued now for redactions, because it definitely got stepped up. It has definitely stepped up.
So school, what were his attitudes, his behavior about school?
Let me put his link in the chat real quick.
Well, he didn't get the best grades first couple semesters, so he wasn't. Because I would say he wasn't the best, like hardest worker in school or anything.
They have the same verbiage. But, here's Connor's link, guys. He seemed to be
doing a lot better this semester. Not exactly sure how his grades were, but he did seem to be doing better. Like as far as like working harder.
And as that was because he was trying to work his way to get back in the house, you think?
Yeah. He spent most of his time at the house.
Now we heard in, I think it was the 1 year memorial. I know that there's channels that have clips of this. I think the one that I always end up finding that has it is, I think, from Lucy Morningstar's channel, maybe. Anyway, it's the guys talking about Ethan from the fraternity, and one of them is saying that he was just having a conversation with Ethan right before he died about how he was excited to be moving back into the house with them. So considering the fact that it was getting towards the end of the semester and testing was happening, and then it was going to be Thanksgiving break and then Christmas break, it seems like the beginning of the year, like the beginning of the next semester, he should have been on track to move back in. So we know that part at least.
He was almost never at his apartment.
Had you ever gone to his apartment?
I had never, no.
Did he ever talk about having problems with anybody over there?
No, he never said how he had any problems.
He would what?
Said the place looked a little sketchy, I remember one time. But never said any problems or anything.
Where did he spend his time mostly?
Mostly spend his time at the house that Xana and all them lived at. Spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time, and I don't know if you guys have interviewed or like interrogated. He spent a lot of time.
These are easy interviews.
He spent a lot of time in the apartment. Like I'd walk in there sometimes.
So he's definitely wanting to take away the interrogation, like aura, vibe, energy of the whole thing. You heard that?
Xana and all them lived at. Spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time, and I don't know if you guys have interviewed or like interrogated. He spent a lot of time.
These are easy interviews.
He spent a lot of time in the apartment. Like I'd walk in there sometimes, and he'd be usually playing Xbox.
Down 10.
I think that's 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the one mans.
Okay, let me ask you. Do you know about those apartments? Like right there around where the house was, because the Molly lady, the DoorDash driver, In her interview that she did, apparently like the nickname for that area used to be, and it sounds like it's still full of bullshit, honestly, the White Harlem. Like White Harlem was a nickname for that spot. And like we've heard from these Sigma Chi interviews, not just like a guy getting his speakers stolen, but a guy getting a computer stolen. And then we have the girl who had like her underwear and stuff moved around and like stuff taken out of her car. There's like stuff. And then remember what Eric Gower told us about the homeless dude with the knife and the blood and the sink and the weird stuff in the bathroom. Like there's just kind of like a lot. But I mean, every town has like areas that are not the best. Like it's not it's just like, not just because it's Moscow, blah, blah, blah. Like it's literally everywhere like that. But I know that that's one of the very first things that we sort of got was, now this was like a fake Uber driver guy too, like this older guy that came out like pretending to be somebody, but he had came out and said something about how like it's just not a good area to stick around in. You go and you turn around and you just instantly leave. But then we see Molly like walking down the road, like she doesn't seem like she's too worried about it being like the White Harlem, you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe it's just like a mixed bag, but we also have like the guy on the bike trail with the knife that was threatening people right before this took place. Like, there seems to be, more than just a little going around, happening in that spot. But, like again, everywhere is going to poop. So I guess it's not really just like concentrated there at all. Yeah, it's bad. It's everywhere. I don't know why they say that. Like everybody says it like it's like hypnotized into them or some shit. It's crazy.
Did you see him going to class on campus?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Yes. Buddy the dog. Have y'all seen what the hell has been going on in Washington? They just had a massive amount of dead dogs like wash up on shore at the exact same time that they have a convicted convict, like a mental patient convict, scary ass dude on the run at the same time that these dogs were washing up on shore. Like this is all happening like right now. Like I just saw this on the news and I was like, what the crap? There's a bunch of just like dead dogs just washing up, like almost like 24 now at this point. Yeah, there's some sadistic shit happening over there right now. Oh yeah. So I had to make a comment, and it wasn't Bryan Kohberger that did this to Buddy the dog either, because people are gonna just be stupid and try to bring up some crazy shit. So yeah, it could be the same person. We don't really know the real situation. I know the documents lean towards it being a juvenile female, but we don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, there's multiple, like about 24 dead dogs have washed up on the shore in Washington. And it's scary. Scary.
I never personally saw him because I never would have had classes with him.
Okay.
Because I'm a different degree than him and all that.
Sorry, I just remembered. I'm going to tell you all this for like a couple of days now.
What was his? I'm not sure actually. Probably business, if I remember right.
Let me halt so I can show y'all the article so y'all know that I'm not tripping. I mean, it's just going to be one that just popped up first thing, New York Post. It's the most recent one from like 5 hours ago. But no, this is definitely happening. 20 dead canines found washed up on Washington Island. A diabolical person is out there. These ads on this thing is wild. You see this? I can't even like function. This is horrible. I mean, there's a picture of one right there. It started like March 26th, I think it was. Some of them were skinned with their front paws removed. Washed ashore on Washington State Island in less than 2 weeks. Skagit County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded to the disturbing sight on March 26 when beachgoers discovered 6 carcasses on Gomez Island, about 85 miles north of Seattle. An animal control officer found 5 more along the shoreline. An additional deceased canine was recovered from the LA Connor Channel on March 31st. The grim tally continues to rise on April 2nd when 8 more carcasses were collected from the beaches of that island, bringing the devastating total up to 20. Skagit County Fire District 17 Chief Olivia Cole described the discoveries as a creepy mystery that has left her fighting back tears and anger. I can imagine so. We were expecting to find maybe 3 or 4 because we were told they washed out with the tide. We end up finding 10. Cole said all the animals appeared to have been skinned and had their front paws cut off. Some were found with orange twine around their necks. Police have yet to confirm whether they were domesticated dogs, wolves, foxes, or coyotes, but Cole said it's easy to tell that they were dogs, like your pet dog. Isn't that freaking crazy? Isn't that freaking crazy? Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah. Ritual type shit. It's a lot. It is a lot. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know who's responsible. I don't know if there's a way for them to be able to tell who is responsible. But let's hope that gets snipped in the bud real quick. Because that's freaking scary. That's just freaking scary. Okay, let's get back to this now. Woo. Wild stuff.
Did he have any odd personal habits? Anything that stood out? Did he wear weird clothes or odd personal habits?
Did he just ask him if like he wore weird clothes as a weird personal habit? Is that what he just asked him?
Anything that stood out? Did he wear weird clothes or odd personal habits?
Really, I guess he was kind of he ate a lot of fast food. Like
That's not a weird habit. That's like that's what y'all do at that age.
I don't really know any. I can't think of any.
That's a good point.
How about money? Do you ever have any issues with money?
I knew that
him and Hunter were well taken care of by their parents, and they never had to want for anything.
So
and they had plenty of money, but we're not going to let you know that.
Like, a lot of money. There was no money in college, so he didn't have like a ton of spending money. But he would have money for food and stuff.
So money wasn't an issue.
No.
But he didn't flaunt that he had money either. Didn't really buy expensive things or whatever.
No, he didn't.
So how did he spend his time? Just either playing games or over at 1122? Did he have any other activities where he would leave the area? Any classes over in Pullman or any hobbies or
I find it
jobs
interesting
that
they're
took him off
asking only
campus?
these people these questions.
I don't think he played any intramurals. I'm not sure if he played
this is
intramurals sports.
This is 3 days before Moscow gets told Bryan Kohberger's name. But at this point, the FBI has had the information that they were working with for 6 days. Now, we don't know if ISP was informed of anything before Moscow was informed of anything. We don't know how all that information trickled down. So all we have right now is the 19th for MPD and the 10th for when all of the DNA stuff got switched to the feds.
It's like basketball. Yeah, it's like mostly video games.
What kind of video games?
You play Fortnite, I think Overwatch, played a ton of Rocket League.
I like Rocket League.
Maybe Call of Duty. Those are the games I know of.
Did he play online with other people?
Yeah.
Do you know if he played with people that were out of the house, that were aware, maybe childhood friends or anything back home?
I'm not sure about that.
How about like his cell phone? Did he excessively use his cell phone or didn't really use it much, or how would you characterize that?
I would say he used his phone quite a bit.
Did he use, to your knowledge, did he use any apps that were unusual?
Nothing that I know of.
How much does this guy actually be around Ethan though?
If you guys were
for
communicating
real
with each other using your phones, how would you do that?
Snapchat.
How much did they actually communicate is really what I want to know. Did they just exist around each other, or did they actually communicate for real?
Did you notice any changes in his behavior recently? Changes in attitude?
I really didn't. No. I really noticed anything different about him.
Any life changes?
I don't think so.
Name his 3 best friends.
I would say probably Alexis, and then I would say probably Kyle, maybe, and then
It sounded like he said
he had a lot of friends.
It almost sounded like he meant to say that he was saying Hunter because that's his brother, and that's why there was a second redaction. I don't know why there'd be a second redaction if that wasn't it. They've been redacting everything when it comes to them too, like Hunter and Maisie.
Best friends.
I would say probably Alexis, and then I would say probably Kyle, maybe, and then
Kyle. They really redacted that one, and it's not Xana.
He had a lot of friends.
I understand Peter had a prior relationship with Xana. Is that right?
Must have been
and Xana were pretty good friends. There might have been something there. I don't know.
Well, there was something there. I'm just wondering if you ever saw any animosity between the 2 of them over that.
Oh,
him and Peter.
No, they would usually all hang out together as a big friend group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know this is a weird question. I know I think you already answered this no, but I'm going to ask it again. Was there any instance where Ethan ever discussed or displayed fear, concern, or discomfort about a particular person or situation?
No, I really can't think of any.
Had he ever been in a physical altercation with anybody?
Never at U of I at least.
So.
Is there anybody that he particularly didn't like that he wouldn't want to be around?
I'm not really sure. He was usually pretty chill with whatever Xana was kind of doing. So I don't think he usually tried to be pretty nice to everyone. Never tried to start anything.
Did any other girls have a romantic interest in him that you know of? Was there some other girl that wanted to date him?
Yeah.
Would he know that? Did a boy know that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any.
To your knowledge, was he ever unfaithful with Xana?
He seemed to be pretty faithful.
Mm-hmm. What about her with him? Did she ever cheat on him?
I don't think so.
What about other guys that were interested in Xana? Ex-boyfriends, anything like that?
I feel like guys would know that one.
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know about any of her ex-boyfriends. I don't know if she had any in college.
That's not the question. That's
as
not
long as
technically
I
the
knew her,
question.
she never had a boyfriend until Ethan.
But she was dating that Mason guy before he got kicked out.
And you said earlier that you knew Xana. Did you know her from up here?
No, I knew her from college. I actually found out that she was from and all that from
After the fact.
Yeah, after the fact.
Okay, fair enough. Did he have any off-campus or activities? Did he have any hobbies? Was there a particular store that he liked to go to? Was there anything that he did that took him off campus?
Drives to go get fast food, or
is there someplace off campus besides 1122 that you knew that he hung out or went to frequently?
like another off-campus house, maybe. Is that what you mean?
Where?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, someplace where.
Not very often. Maybe one of the other houses on King Street or
White's or whatever.
White's, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just normal places then?
Any other house off campus in particular that you knew that he went to? Or just generally you assumed that he went to them?
I don't remember whose house it was, but it's right up the road from. So it would have been somewhere up here around, and I think it was one of Xana's friends' houses.
Do you remember her name?
Go back.
It.
Sounds like he's talking about Emily's
remember
house, like Emily's apartment.
Whose house it was, but it's
I wish we could see the map they're
right
using.
up the road from. So it would have been somewhere up here around, and I think it was one of Xana's friends' houses.
Do you remember her name?
Oh, house.
It could have been a girl named House. I don't remember if it
Is
was
that where the Ashton thing came from the other day? Somebody put a comment in the chat, something about how they wanted to know who Ashton was, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So is that where the Ashton maybe came from? Because it almost sounds like that could be what he's starting to say, maybe.
So it would have been somewhere up here around, and I think it was one of Xana's friends' houses.
Do you remember her name?
It could have been a girl named House. I don't remember if it was her house. Yeah, I think I lived there.
And you're pointing down here to where
Taylor must intersect somewhere. Yeah, it could be Ashland. It could be Ashton.
White. So it would have been farther up, I think.
Farther up.
Yeah.
Just right off or back in.
Pretty much, yeah, just right off of it. It wasn't down another street. It was on this street.
Had you ever gone out and hung out at 1122?
Yeah.
Over here? Had you gone and hung out at the 1122 house?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. How many times in the last year would you say that you've been there?
Well, they So they had it this semester probably 10 times maybe.
And were there other guys that were there?
Yeah.
Could be
What
Ali.
other guys were there?
It was usually so a lot of guys in our house, and then I didn't know a ton of the other guys because they were from other houses. Like a lot of them were delts. A lot of delts hung out there.
Anybody besides delts in the fraternity?
It was mostly basically just delts.
Did you know them?
I knew of them.
So here's the adult roster.
There all the
You just gotta
time.
go down that roster
Didn't
and
know
just
them,
spit
just
names
knew
of
of them.
people that you knew that you'd seen there.
Okay. I saw him a couple times.
What's that last name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has anyone? There was one Delt member that was, I don't remember his name, but he got into like a little altercation with one of our members, and I'd see him there sometimes, and nothing ever turned physical or anything.
You remember who that is?
I think it might have been.
Oh, that's an L name. Was it Lyndon? Ava Woods had somebody like mess with her door.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, apparently at 11:19, Enan Harsh is just walked straight in.
Like, I don't see his name. Yeah, I guess I can't remember.
What did he look like?
He had curly blonde hair. He was probably about 5'9", pretty bulky dude.
Okay.
But
Pretty bulky dude with blonde
there's
hair.
never
Is that what he said? Pretty
incidents where anything
bulky.
actually happened. Yeah, I guess I can't remember.
What did he look like?
He had curly blonde hair. He was probably about 5'9", pretty bulky dude.
Okay.
But
Kai
there's never incidents where anything actually happened or anything got serious or anything. So
at the 1122 house, there were no fights you observed or anyone getting kicked out for behavior issues or anything?
Never when I went there. It was usually everyone kept their chill. Nothing ever happened. A situation like that really went down.
Does Lyndon have blonde hair? I thought he was like a browner.
Did any of the girls
dirty
over there
blonde.
ever complain about guys either being followed or guys hassling them or unwanted advances or anything like that?
I never heard anything about that. No.
Remember, though, what we found out is that the situation where Kaylee had seen someone outside when she was taking Murphy out, she only called Bethany about that. And when everyone is repeating that story, like on that first day, how literally everyone is repeating that story, we have to listen to what's being said right before is after talking to, or I was talking to Redacted, or I was having a conversation with blank, or someone told me, blah, blah, blah. Even Dylan says after she was talking to Bethany, Bethany told her how Kaylee had called her, blah, blah, blah. So even with that one instance being repeated over and over and over again, it seems like Bethany was the only person that was actually physically told. And it wasn't really repeated at all until after everyone needed to talk about things. Just keep that part in mind.
We keep hearing this stalking allegation getting thrown around. Do you know anything about the girls complaining of being stalked?
But also keep in mind that Kaylee did mention something else completely different that had nothing to do with when she took Murphy outside and saw that person in September. And it had something to do with receiving something from somebody that was unwanted. 4 to 5 different girls remember this situation, but for some reason at the time that they were being spoken to, at least in the interviews that have been released so far and the information so far, none of them could remember exactly what it was, but they all did remember it being talked about. So there's so much back and forth, so many things to consider, so many things to break down and like be like, okay, but this really wasn't a situation, but to hold on now, look at this situation months prior, all these people knew about this. There's just so much back and forth. It's really hard to keep everything straight and figure out what actually happened, what was real that needs to be looked at, and what's just a big game of telephone or like mockingbird, monkey see, monkey do, repetitive, not firsthand knowledge type thing. Just a lot of it. You guys know that we've all lived it.
I've heard about that too. I really have no clue about anything about them getting stalked.
Okay. Where were you when you heard that this had happened?
I would have been in my room, which is
You just whispered something.
I found out I don't know what time, probably 12 or 1. One of my roommates told me about it, and
It's 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. on Sunday?
yeah, something like that.
And what did you understand? What did you understand had happened?
So to begin, I woke up that morning, probably about 10 or something.
That's a lot of stumbling over yourself, sir.
What did you understand? What did you understand had happened?
I woke up that morning, probably about 10 or something, and I was with the girl, and so we went and got food. And so I came back. I park at,
What girl were you with?
She goes to WSU.
Okay. What's her name? Had she spent the night?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she go to the party with you? The Sigma Chi party?
Yeah, she came over and we hung out in the lodge for a little bit, party, and then went to bed.
Did you see Ethan and Xana at the party?
I really didn't see him in the lodge. I saw him kind of like before the party at probably 7 or 8, and they were just hanging out. And I think.
Sir, how? Ethan was at Hunga Dunga with Hunter and Maisie at that time. As a matter of fact, everyone at the King Roadhouse was asleep until 8 o'clock. Apparently, they all took naps so that they could get a little bit of rest in between drinking and partying and hanging out for the game and doing whatever they were doing for that night. And they all set their alarm clocks for like 8 p.m., right? For like 8 p.m. So considering that Ethan was at Hunga Dunga and Xana didn't even wake up to 8 o'clock, how was that? How is that? I think you're wrong, sir.
The Sigma Chi party?
Yeah, she came over and we hung out in the lodge for a little bit, party, and then went to bed.
Did you see Ethan and Xana at the party?
I really didn't see him in the lodge. I saw him kind of like before the party at probably 7 or 8, and they were just hanging out in...
No, you didn't.
I think, in one of the rooms.
There's actually no proof whatsoever that any of them went over to that frat house before the Sigma Chi party. I don't know if Ethan spent the night with Xana Friday night. We don't know that for sure. He probably did, but I don't think we know that. But we know that around 11 o'clock on Saturday is when people started getting like mass text messages from Xana to get their butts over there because everyone met up at 11:22, and then they went from 11:22 over to the Whites where that little get together and everything was, and then the girls went back to 11:22 to take naps till 8 p.m. and Ethan and Hunter and Maisie were all at Hunga Dunga until like 9 o'clock. That's how the time frame for that went. So.
That was 7 or 8 p.m.
It was a while ago, but yeah. So it was before the party.
You think they were in an apartment?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It was one at the bottom.
I mean, look, even if they would have been, his damn face would have been blurred. Because, I mean, look, everybody that we've seen, they just blur their face. So even if it would have been, we wouldn't have been able to see his expressions. But that's like the most important thing, too, is being able to see the way that their faces are moving around and the way that their mannerisms are. And that's like the biggest thing that makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Yeah, Jeff was over in Pullman with Jasmine at the time. And see, that's another thing is he says that Xana was home early. He's kept to that from the beginning, and he's kept to that in his statement at the plea sentencing situation. And he says that he was supposed to drive over there, but that he'd been drinking, so he didn't want to drive because he knew that that would just piss her off. And I really wish that we had more information on that because, I mean, like, how do we all this time not have a timestamp for when Xana and Ethan got home? And all we have is a 2:15 DoorDash, but a judge telling us that by 2:10, when food's being discussed by everyone else but Xana and Ethan aren't home. I don't understand why we haven't gotten like concrete proof of things. It's really just annoying. It's really, really just annoying.
But you didn't see him at the party?
I did not.
Do you remember anything unusual happening at the party?
Well, see, hold on. And I know they're about to talk about it. Let me go back another 10 seconds. My problem with this is that there was talks about that in the very beginning, and it was repeated after he had conversations with Kara, and she came out and repeated that too. But then when it got to the plea, it wasn't a fight. It was something about how Xana wasn't feeling good. And so that's why he had wanted to go over there. But it was about like an argument in the very beginning of this. So I don't know. I don't know. But there's also like discrepancies in the last time that Jeff and Jasmine talked to Xana in way of what the police reports tell us that came out from MPD. We haven't heard the interviews. I haven't asked for it simply because I know that they're giving people a bunch of like privacy denials when it comes to certain people. Like I know Connor has tried to get Hunter and Maisie's, and they've told him that they're denied due to privacy. So I know for a fact they're not going to give me Jeff and Jasmine's. But the only reason why... Oh, hold on. I got to sneeze. Okay. The only reason why I wanted it was to verify the times that they gave, because we have heard from Jeff the whole time that he talked to her that night and that they were already home. But in the damn reports, both Jeff and Jasmine apparently tell the police officer in the report that it's Friday night that they actually had communication with Xana last, and nothing at all on Saturday, which is not what we were told by them directly. So I would like to get more clarification on that. If you've been here for a while, you know that we've talked about this before since that damn report came out. But that's the only... I would never put the interview from Jeff out. Like I've already said, I wouldn't put any of the parents' interviews out if they ever did come out. Like I just don't want to do any of that. That's a whole different thing to hear a parent be told things and hear that reaction. I'm just not, I won't do that. I'll give my reaction to it, but I don't physically want to like react to that kind of thing live as a parent myself. I just don't want to do that. But the only thing I really wanted to get was like clarification on the timestamps. Because yes, he was in town, but he was in Pullman because it was WSU's Parents Weekend, and he had just been in Moscow for Xana's. And this was the weekend where I think like everyone met each other. Like the Chapins met Jeff, and like everyone hung out like for a little while. And also Bethany's dad was in town. That's also the Parents Weekend is also the weekend where the girls came back from town. And the front door was so wide open, the hinges had to be fixed. Jeff ended up fixing the hinges of the front door because somebody had gotten into the house. I think this is the same instance where they got there and like the washer was on, but nobody that lived in the house had actually turned it on. Like, I don't know why that instance wasn't reported. Like, I'm sorry, but if I get home and my freaking door looks like it's been kicked in and it's off the hinges because it's been opened with such force, I'm going to call the cops, but that didn't happen. And that literally was the weekend before the crime about the front door. That's crazy.
But you didn't see him at the party?
I did not.
Do you remember anything unusual happening at the party? Any altercations or
the party went,
people not getting along?
Party went super smooth as far as I remember.
Do you remember if Maddie or Kaylee came to the party? Did you know Maddie or Kaylee?
Not really. I knew of Maddie because she was always at 1122, and
so was Kaylee.
I think
she
I talked
there
to her maybe like one time, but
what about Kaylee?
Never met her.
You never met her?
I don't think so.
Okay, what about the other two girls?
So all the times he's been over there, all the parties that were had, all the body cam of the parties that were had, all the frat guys being over there, and Kaylee still living there and not having been moved out whatsoever. And you never met her? You're always at her freaking house, but you never met her? Yeah, that's weird.
I knew them too, but never really.
Yeah, I don't believe
No problems that you can think of with anybody there? No ex-boyfriends?
Everyone wants to separate themselves from Kaylee.
Or overhear any conversation with any of the girls on the phone maybe, or one of them being angry about something?
Right? What the freak?
Nothing I know of.
And it's not like a freaking something that we're making up. Literally everyone is like, yeah, I didn't really know her. Yeah, I didn't really know her. Knew everyone else. Knew everything about everyone else. Yeah, didn't really know Kaylee. Like literally everyone. It's so freaking weird. So freaking weird.
The only thing I've heard of is just rumors about Kaylee's boyfriend or whatever. I've never heard anything personally.
Did you know Katie's boyfriend?
No. I didn't know.
Her and Jack were not together.
So when you heard this had happened, what did you think?
I was in pretty big shock.
I mean, when you actually understood that the four of them had been murdered with a knife, what did you think?
I was still in shock, and I was just a little bit scared.
Okay.
A little bit scared.
Did you have any ideas of who might have done this?
No.
Did you ever seen any problems with homeless people or crazy people who were over there?
Well, I parked my truck in front of the Whites on the side of the road.
Taylor,
and I actually got a
Taylor.
subwoofer stolen out of my truck.
Okay, so he's the
that
guy.
That's where I got your name, because I asked about any unusual incidents or thefts, and somebody said that you had a speaker stolen out of your truck.
So
was it from inside your truck?
Yeah, I leave my truck unlocked though. So I mean, I leave it unlocked because my keys don't really work very well. So someone just ripped it out of there, took my sub, took my amp.
Why would you have all that shit in your truck and then not lock it and fix your key issue? Like, what's the actual point? You're wasting money.
And this was probably a couple months ago or something.
And at this point, it's been like almost a month since the crimes, mind you.
I just figured it was some crackhead or something. I don't know.
Crime of opportunity. Okay. You've probably seen this vehicle we've been asking about. Have you seen? Do you know anybody who has a vehicle like this?
Folks, in the name of everything, yeah. I'm going to do a video about this separately because it's been a subject here recently. I got a response about the photo, the knife photo that's being shown. Okay, let me just go ahead and show this now, and then I will clip it out and post it by itself. Okay. Now we know from these damn Sigma Chi interviews that they have been saying very specifically, the knife, look at this knife, very unique handle, very unique, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I sent in a damn FOIA like I told you guys I was going to do, and they responded, but it's literally just an email. Okay. It's literally just an email. And it's just them telling me what they claim it is because they don't have anything to actually give me, okay? It's what everyone thought and literally makes no sense because of the wording that's being used. This officer should not be able to say, this is the knife, picture of the knife, look how unique this is. That makes it seem as if this is the one that you want everyone to hone in on as the weapon, okay? Okay, no, and no, and no, and no. So I'm going to get this as big as I can. And I'm going to read this to you guys. And it's nothing special. It's pretty much what everyone thought. It was not a picture of anything unique or anything else, okay? This is what I ended up sending in. This is regarding the 1122 King Road homicides from 11/13/22. An interview with Kelvin Cobley that was conducted by Sergeant Van Leuven and Detective Alderson on or around 12/14/22 has a section of the interview in which one of the ISP officers says to the interviewee verbatim, okay, I'm going to show you a picture of the knife. This is a very unique looking knife, really, really unique handle with leather wrapping. In the unedited version of the interview, you can hear this at timestamp 2633. This same question is asked to several of the Sigma Chi members that were interviewed in December of 2022. The ISP report number is 178. I am requesting the image/photo of the very unique looking knife that is physically present at the time of this interview. I am aware that the interview itself went to MPD as they were the main agency and y'all were assisting, but this would be something your officers used as a reference. Their response: the Idaho State Police has no responsive records. And this is the body portion that they put in here. The picture of a knife mentioned in the audio you referenced was a stock image pulled up on one of the interviewer's phones as a standard K-bar knife. It was not a recorded image of the weapon, as the actual knife used in this crime was never recovered. Which duh. That's why we're asking why the hell he is saying, take a look at the picture of the knife. That's exactly the reason why we were asking that question. So Home Dude was able to just pull up, extremely quick. He was just able to pull up any old stock photo that he wanted to and just be like, look at how unique this handle is. Look at this wrapping on this handle, and make it sound like it was personal to the case. This is dumb. This is stupid. This is why I say I don't even care about like all of the money from getting this degree that is such a waste to me, because there's no way that I can work in a department and see this kind of incompetence constantly and not be the most hated person there for constantly calling shit out. There's no way I would be able to deal with this kind of dumb shit in real life. Like, this is stressful enough. Could you imagine if I was having to deal with this in front of actual humans on a daily basis? I'd have had a heart attack like a decade ago. I'd have died. I'd have been dead. There's no way. Too much stress. It's too stupid. It's too much. It's too much. Okay, let's just get back to this. It's just too much. So I'll clip that out and I'll put that out there because that's one of the things that we've been all questioning. So I just can't believe how stupid. He was able to just pull up anything he wanted. Just any old stock picture. Like, I'm sorry. Can we do better? Can we do better? Can we at least be like, hey, this is a possibility because we know we found a sheath and we don't know exactly what the knife looks like. But do you know anyone that maybe has a K-bar knife just like in general? Here's an example. Like, why are you saying the in all of them and being so specific about the handle? That's what's irking me the most is he's going into such detail about this damn leather wrapping on the handle. Okay, let's continue. It only has about 2 minutes left.
No idea who did that either.
I just figured it was some crackhead or something. I don't know.
Crime of opportunity. Okay. You've probably seen this vehicle we've been asking about. Do you know anybody who has a vehicle like this?
Is it the white Elantra?
Yeah. Do you know anybody? Boy, girl, anybody's parents, car you've seen?
This is true.
It's distinctive in the fact that both the headlights and the taillights extend back into the body or forward into the body in the case of the taillights. And it's got a really distinct body line up under the windows that comes up at an angle and sticks out pretty far.
I've never.
What stock image are you looking at for that one, homeboy?
Okay.
I don't trust anything this idiot says that's specific and detailed.
Where was the car parked at?
He's ruined it.
So I can't talk about that.
Can't say where the car was parked. Do you even know at this point? Like, what's your guess at this point? It's been too early. 16th, maybe not. Is that it? 45 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to show you a knife. It's a pretty unique
Here he
looking
goes.
knife in the way it's colored and the way it's
Shut
made.
up, dude. See? In the way that it's colored and the way that it's made. Now, like, I just hate you. Like, now you just, like, disgust me. You disgust me, sir.
Okay, I'm going to show you a knife. It's a pretty unique looking knife in the way it's colored and the way it's made.
Bullshit.
If I can get the screen to open. Do you own a knife like this, or do you know anybody who does?
Stock
own a
image
knife
from
like this?
Google. So unique.
No.
I can't. Are we done?
Is there anything else that you'd like us to know that we haven't talked about yet?
No, like I said, I'm pretty clueless. Everything.
Okay. Well, given that, I'm going to stop the interview at 2:08.
And it's done. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, I have so many like things already on the list, and then these documents came out today, so I'm glad I was reminded about having that email, because now I can at least clip that out and just put it out there by itself about how he was just able to pull up any random old picture that he wanted to. And then he's sitting there and he's describing the car. I'm telling you now, if he's using a stock image for the knife and he's talking like that about it, he's definitely using that damn white stock image from the Bolo. as he's describing the car. Now, I will say that one of the exhibits that came out in today's drop does have information about the car in there. And there are like a couple of stock photos of vehicles and like window angles and different things that they were looking at. So there is some more details on that we'll be going over, but we already know like what the state had submitted. We need to remember that in these exhibits, this is all stuff that was back in like January, February, March. This was before the motions in limine and the self-authenticating records and things were taken out because they were useless, had nothing to do with anything. Like this is all way before we got close to this plea. So it's good to see just how ridiculous everything was and how much additional junk was just sitting in there that literally ended up being nothing. Because that's what all of this is. It's just a bunch of the junk files. It's literally all of it. Literally all of it. But yeah, that's it. This guy didn't like Ethan very much, you could tell. I don't really know how much of his like more recent information before he died this guy would even know other than just like existing with him. Because again, Ethan wasn't living there. He was usually with Xana or in class playing video games somewhere. And this guy was doing other stuff. Like they basically all have the same stories about Ethan. Video game, school, Xana. Video game, school, Xana. Like it's basically all the same. Like there was like PowerPoints, like points that they were told that they had to make sure that they mentioned all these certain things. Crazy stuff. All right, you guys. I am going to go ahead and get off of here. I'm going to make sure that I get the next exhibit edited and ready to go. I will most likely post it in the morning times. I want to post it earlier in the morning so that if I do want to go live, I don't have to go live so late in order for the notifications and things to work correctly. So my goal for these, since my whole point is to get one out a day until all of them are done, and it's going from exhibit 2 to 14. So for the next 2 weeks, there should be, 2 weeks, there should be one every single day until they're finished. I'm thinking like 11:45 a.m. is when I'll post these, since it's just like a series. I'm just going to like try to pop them out over the next couple of days and just get them scheduled out and ready to go so that if something actually does come up new, we can go live and it won't disrupt that schedule. Sort of the way that we did the 11/12 camera footage scheduling. I'm kind of going to put it out like that. But I guess that's it for now. I am going to get off of here and do some editing. And I might go make some hot wings. I know it's like 10 o'clock here, but I kind of want some hot wings. And since I'm going to be editing for a while, I mean, I can sit here and edit with one hand and eat some hot wings in the other. I really will do it. You guys have a good night. Thank you for becoming a new member. And thank you guys so much for being in here. And thank you for the super chat, Joni. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and... Where's it at? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. If it'll go. Please not forget to... What is happening? Hold on. Everything's acting crazy right now. Okay. Are we like frozen over here? Okay, I think it's getting it together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll this out now. Please not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.